Teresa with BeCozi.net is here. BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is the website, American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarn for hand knitting. Today I will be making a beautiful Christmas blanket. So here it is. This is my paper with the patterns. So here it is. Beautiful, bright, super Christmassy blanket. I'm using emerald green, olive, white, cranberry red, and burgundy colors, all Christmassy colors. They're available at BeCozi.net. There is a link underneath. You can go and purchase this yarn. These colors, this yarn is not available in any craft store, only on our website. And please, when you're making this blanket, if you're using this pattern, post a BeCozi link or tag BeCozi on any post on social media. This is the reason I'm creating these videos. I would love to see when you're using my patterns and you are sharing your beautiful creations with the world. Again, tag BeCozi and please go buy our yarn. If you have our yarn, let's get started. Okay, guys, let's get started. So, for this pattern, as I said, you will be using half skein at the beginning and half at the end. So what we will do, we need to separate them in the same amount. So what we need to do, we will need to unwind the whole skein, put the end of the yarn here, and then unwind the whole skein and find the other end of the yarn. That's what I'm doing here behind the scene. And when you find the other end, which is over here, you are placing them together like that. And then you're rolling the yarn again to find, like that, two strings together. And you are placing yarn in front of you like that. And you are finding the middle part. This way it will be will bring you directly into the middle, like over here. So now I'm taking my scissors, I'm cutting the yarn, and I'm always burning the end to prevent unraveling. So what I will do now, we will be using one part of this emerald green, and then we will do the same with our olive and red and white. But for now, we are starting with our emerald green. So place the yarn in front of you like that. This is the tail, this is working yarn. Working yarn goes on the top like that. You're making a little loop. Insert your hand, and I would suggest to leave a very small tail over here because this is yarn and you don't need to use it. It will be just tucked in when you're done with the blanket. Insert your fingers or hand inside this loop, grab working yarn and pull it out. So I recently started doing this way, that I am not tightening or making this over here, this loop, this knot tight. Leave it a little bit on the looser side. And this is because it will help us when we are done with our blanket. I will show you, okay? It will be looking better this way. So keep it loose. Don't make it really tight when you made it. So now we will be casting on. We will be casting on 23 stitches, guys, okay? So you're holding this first stitch with your left hand. Insert your fingers, grab working yarn, and pull it out. So this is your second stitch. Place your fingers on the bottom of this stitch, grab working yarn, and pull it out. And I'm kind of fixating the size of the stitch when I'm pressing the bottom of it, okay? Because if you don't do it and you hold it here, then you can see you are taking the other stitch and this stitch is becoming of a bigger size. We need to keep stitches of the same size. That's why you're pressing it here, you're holding it, you're taking the other out. and keep doing this way. For the bottom, we're always making stitches a little bit bigger than when we are making the blanket. And the 23 stitches of the base will give you the width of the blanket of 35 inches. Okay? For the blanket 30 inches wide, you are casting on 20. For 35 inches, 23. So here is our chain. Let's count our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Here we are. We have 23 stitches. So what are we doing now? We are twisting or flipping this chain on another side. The reason we're doing it, because now we will be knitting this side, and this beautiful chain will be on the bottom of the blanket. So how we will do it? This is our first stitch. We will insert our fingers from underneath, grab working yarn, and pull it out. So we are now ready to proceed with the stitches. And here we will not be knitting part or bottom, we will be knitting the middle part of the stitch. See these little bumps in the middle? That's what we are using. So here's the first bump between top and the bottom. Insert your fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. So now you have 2 stitches. Try to make them the same height. This way the blanket, finished blanket, will be looking good, because if you make something like that, one smaller, one longer, that will not look good on a finished blanket. So now we are simply pulling out, that's called pulling out, the first row. Here we are. Pull out all the stitches. Try to make them all the same size. And when you are done with this row, I will show you why the first stitch I made a little bit looser, the connection of the bottom of that stitch, because that will help us to make a very nice side on the bottom of the blanket. So here we are, guys. So this is our last stitch over here. See, not the top, not the bottom, the middle part over here. We just made it. So here we have this stitch from our first stitch. So now we can actually pull it, and we will pull it close to this last stitch. See, it's now connected, it's pulled, it's very nice and tight, but you don't have that huge stitch hanging here because you pulled it and made it look nicely. So what do we do now? We will be knitting the same way by inserting our fingers, grabbing working yarn and pulling it out. In hand knitting, you can knit from right, or you need to knit, that's the way to knit, from the right side to the left, and from the left side to the right. And it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, because you see, in this direction, I'm using my left hand, and I'm right-handed person, but I'm knitting with my left hand. And when I'm knitting the other direction, I'm using my right hand. I'm getting this question all the time. Hey, I'm left-handed, how am I supposed to do it? My assistant, Sarah, if you saw one of the videos she made recently for the dog bed, she is left-handed, and she is doing it the same way as I do. And she said that's the way to do it. So anyway, we just finished our second row. Starting this row, we will be skipping the first stitch. See, we have nice chain over here forming. We have this nice chain on the bottom because we flipped the chain and used the middle part of the stitch. Starting this row, we will be skipping this first stitch, and that will give us this beautiful chain on the side. So the stitch is just sitting here, and you're just going to the second stitch and you're just knitting the second stitch. And this first one is just sitting here, see? So that will create your beautiful chain, and we will be doing them on both sides. The beautiful chain will be on the both sides, and it will also save you some yarn. Not much, but it will be noticeable if you're making a big blanket. Then you definitely notice that you used less yarn, and your chain on the sides, it will look very nice and professionally made. So here we are. We are knitting the last stitch. Here we are. And now when we're going the new row from the left to the right, we're skipping the first stitch in every row. We knitted this one. Remember, it was our second row after pulling out. And now, starting from the right, from the second or third row, sorry, we are skipping this first stitch in every row. First stitch, not the last. So anyway, I'm gonna knit until I'm done with this. Oh, actually, I am done. So here we are. This is half skein that we just cut. And unfortunately, it's not, probably will not be enough. Let's see. If it's not enough, we will need to add from the other part, because every new color need to start from the beginning of the row, not the middle, not like a few stitches in. So what I will do, I will take a little part of the other side, of the part of the yarn. So I'm starting burning it, and then I'm connecting yarn by pressing two ends together like that. Press them toward each other, hold for a few seconds, and then rub them together, that connection, when it's not too hot. That's why I said wait for a little bit. And then when you can feel that it's not hot anymore, you can pull and you can feel that it's connected really nicely, then you keep knitting. Okay, so we are finishing up our row. Here we are, last stitch. And now we are cutting our yarn about 1/2 inch, and we are moving to the next color, and our next color will be white. Okay, so here we are. We are starting burning the white, attach two together, push them toward each other, wait, and then rub, and they will connect nicely. And that's one way to connect the yarn. Another way to make simple knot, you can still do it, it's fine. So here we are. We're skipping the first row, guys, first stitch, I'm sorry, at the beginning of the row, and then we're going with the next. So here will be a little trick, because we will be making a row of white, a row of red, and then a row of white again. So to avoid cutting the yarn, the white yarn, we will not be cutting it at the end of this row. We will be simply using the red, and then we will be using white again. So here we are, and taking our cranberry red, because it's the Christmas blanket, right? So it should be really bright and beautiful. So where is the end? We'll find the end here. Okay. So we will just place the yarn here. We will connect and weave in the end later. What we will be doing, we will be knitting one row of the red. And we can actually knit the first row in this case, because first stitch, I'm sorry. First stitch, because we want it to be seen, or you can skip it, and then it will be white. So let's skip it and just go to the second stitch. So here we are. We're knitting beautiful red. And then when we are done with this row, we will be knitting white again. And we don't need to, as I said, to cut and connect it, because we will simply knit it next. So here we are, I will show you. We're almost done with our red. Okay, here we are, last stitch. And here we go all the way to the beginning where we started our red, and now this white is still sitting here, see? So what we will do now, we will actually knit this white. No, not right. We needed to knit that red one, the first one, because we're connecting it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so here how we will do it. And I can show you right away how to connect it, that we wouldn't go back. So I usually connect it now with the simple burning trick. You burn this end, and then you're attaching it to the back of the stitch on the back of the blanket. See, like that. You don't see it where it is. So now we will need to make a white stitch. See, it was hanging here, and instead of cutting and connecting, we're simply knitting it. And you don't really see it. It's blend in here nicely, and there is no connection, but we have this beautiful red, white, white, red, white middle part, which makes this blanket really beautiful. So I will put a description underneath, guys. We will be making this kind of patterns through the blanket. We will be alternating our colors, and you just print it or write it down or just look underneath the video, because that will be the whole pattern. We will be using half. Okay, here we are. Make sure to knit the last stitch. Okay, so now we can cut both white and red, because next we will be making our olive. The same way I will separate it in two, and because I know that how many rows I use for the emerald green, I don't even need to cut it in half. I can just count rows here. So like here's our green colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 was cast on. So it will be 5 rows of next color. And next color is olive. So we can simply start the olive, and in this case we will actually connect it to the white. So here we are, we have this red hanging here, we will connect it, start burning, and then attach it to this stitch on the back. Oops, here we are. See, nice and clean connection, nothing, no knots, nothing like that. And now we will connect in our olive. Burn the olive and attach it to the white. Push it toward each other. So that's as I said, underneath you see our pattern, half skein emerald green, then it will be white, red, white, half skein olive, it will be 5 rows. The same as here, 5 rows. And then it will be the same, white, red, white, because that's kind of like a topic. And at this point, when we are attaching new color, we will be knitting first stitch, because we wanted to look beautiful on this side. See, I didn't knit it here, so here it doesn't look really nice. So you can see the difference. The first stitch of a new color we are knitting, then we are skipping it and other. So here we are. We are doing 5 rows of olive. Then I will make the same white, red, white. And then I will come back and I will show you what I will do next. Okay, guys, look at this beautiful Christmas blanket we already have here, okay? Emerald green, white, red, olive. Now we started burgundy, 5 rows of each. And now we will do it a little bit different. So here we're making 1 white, 1 red, 1 white. And this row, see, I cut the burgundy, and now I will connect white. But in this case, we will make 2 rows of white, 2 rows of olive, and 2 rows of white again. So here I am connecting white to burgundy. So when I'm making blankets like that, I'm always asked how to wash this. First of all, you need to wash in a completely cold water and use the color catcher. You can buy it in any store, and you can buy it on Amazon. Make sure to use it because red and burgundy can bleed on white, and the only way to avoid it will be to wash in cold water, completely cold, and use the color catcher. So here we are. See, we are using our white color, and you saw that I knitted the first row again, the first stitch of the row, and now we are knitting 2 rows of white, and again the same way as previously when we were knitting 1 row of white and then red. We will not be cutting, guys, okay? Because I am a big proponent of not cutting yarn when you can avoid it. So here we are knitting our second row of white. And then we will actually, as I said, we will make 2 rows of olive inside just to change it a little bit and make it really beautiful, bright and Christmassy looking. So here we are, we're almost done. And then you just keep your white here, don't cut it, because we will use yarn as is. Here we are. Now, taking our olive. Here we are. Let's burn it a little bit. And we will knit the first stitch to make beautiful transition. And then we're knitting 2 rows of olive. Okay, so here we are. Then we will come back here after we knit the first row of olive, and then we will come back and it will be second row of olive. So this pattern, as I mentioned, is written underneath the video, okay? So write it down, take a picture, put it in front of you like I did. I have it here. See, I created this pattern. I wrote it for myself, and now I'm making it, the pattern into a blanket. Here we are. We're making second row of olive. And then have it in front of you and just alternate these colors. I will write underneath how many rows of each color you will need. So I will keep knitting according to my pattern and according to the pattern that is written underneath this video. So here we are, guys, okay? So 2 white, 2 olive. And now we're just taking this white and we are placing it on the top of olive. See, olive is underneath. And then you just simply knitting it. And this way you just have a stitch over here over 2 rows, like that. And this way you don't need to cut the yarn. And then another option, if you want to add a beautiful edge to this blanket, you can do it by going around with any of these colors. I will put a link underneath the video to my previous video where I'm showing how to add an edge to any blanket. There are two different ways I'm showing in that video. One is hand knitting and one is hand crocheting. Okay, so now I will keep following my pattern, and I will be back to show you how to finish this blanket. Okay, guys, we are back, and look at this beauty. It's really beautiful Christmas blanket. All this color combination. Now we are done with 4 rows of emerald green, the same amount as on the bottom. And now we're ready to cast off, okay? So here we are. This is our last stitch in this row. So what are we doing now? We're making extra stitch. Insert your hand inside the stitch, your fingers, add another stitch, and then knit these two together. Here we are. Keep the fingers inside this one stitch that you made, add another, and then knit them together. And that's what we will be doing to connect the top or cast off or finish our blanket. See this beautiful chain? Knitting 2 stitches at a time, making 1, adding second stitch, and knitting 2 stitches together. Make sure do not skip any stitch. Check out no stitches skipped, because otherwise the stitch will be sticking out on the back. So when you're done with knitting all stitches, here's 2 last. You have 1 stitch left. Cut the yarn, burn the end. The working yarn goes inside this last stitch, and then pull. And then I'm usually hiding it on the back between stitches, and then to hide this little tail, I'm burning it and I'm attaching it to any stitch on the back. So what we will need to do, we will need now to, this is the back, by the way, it's looking nicely itself. We need to find all these little ends, cut them short, burn the end, and then connect it to the yarn on the back like that. See, this is the best way to hide or weave in the ends for Chanel yarn. You're just burning the end and attaching it to the same color yarn on the back like that. So when you're done with all your stitches on the back, you're done with your blanket, you can enjoy this beauty. So this yarn is available at BeCozi.net or BeCozi.com. When you're making a blanket using our yarn or using our pattern and post it on social media, please tag BeCozi, tag our pattern, and just write BeCozi, pattern of BeCozi. And this yarn is available at BeCozi.com. Stay warm, BeCozi. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. So I would like to remind you about my hand knitting book. This book was published in September 2021, and this book is all about hand knitting, how it was born, what yarn to use, and 12 amazing beautiful patterns. And this is the only book on the craft market, on the book market, giving you all the information every step on the way for hand knitting. It's a lot of fun. It's very nice book. We're selling it on Amazon and on BeCozi website, and we have almost 5-star reviews on Amazon. Everybody loves this book. And here is me on the back, and this book is available. And good news, second book is coming soon, so go check this out.